Hi there, I'm Chris, one of the founders of ConsumerBreak. I want to tell you how it is that we came up with this, but more importantly, why we came up with it. Know that this isn't some kind of big business type of creation. I thought of the basic concept for this one evening just sitting in my living room, way back in 2011. 2 years prior to that, I just finished my degree at a local community college and finally landed my first real job. And along that journey, I discovered that nothing is free, and the struggle in making it in life is real. Sadly, the big picture here is that some of us spend our whole lives in debt paying for that struggle. Now that's more in the grand scheme of things, and there's a long ways we'd have to go before changing that. But there's still a lot that can be done because it's all those little things that add up along the way. And it's because of those things that I know what we have here will help with that struggle. I was sitting right here in this very room 3 years ago, imagining the difference that $1 billion company could make if it passed its profits down to the everyday people who use it. And the more I sat here thinking, the more I realized about advertising across all platforms: television, radio, magazines, internet, and I discovered what seems obvious. You find interest in something, maybe you pay good money for it, and along the way the creators of it put something else in front of you in hopes that you'll give it the same kind of attention you gave them. That's the long way of saying that advertising is just downright intrusive. I don't know about you, but I feel like my time is worth more than money, or else my employer wouldn't be paying me for it. So I especially don't like having it stolen from me. But on the other hand, how else are you supposed to know what's out there? It's not like you can go to a website where the content is the advertisements, and even if there was, why would you want to? That's where all these ingredients came together, and it hit me. What if there was a network where the user profiles were all ran by advertisers, and as the everyday people interacted with their content, they were the ones who profited from it? Now I never imagined this thing would get as far as it did, because I work for a living just like all of you. So I knew if there was ever any hope of it succeeding, it would come from something unique that allows each consumer to interact with the advertiser's content. I thought about all sorts of things, but there was no big epiphany there until I told my dad about the idea later on that night. He said, "What if you had an advertisement in the form of a puzzle?" And I thought to myself, I've never really seen a puzzle advertisement before, especially not with the intentions of this behind it. This is where Nat comes into the story. He's the guy who makes it happen. We shared an office back then, and after a few hours, I couldn't take it anymore. I finally had to tell him. I couldn't explain it to him in any better way except for in two simple words: puzzle advertisements. And with that, I seem to remember his reaction being like, "Really? So that's the big idea you were so excited about?" Well, obviously there was much more to it.
We didn't have any of the details lined out, but after sleeping on it, I was right there with Chris. This truly was a way to create a new relationship between advertisers and consumers, and even let local businesses compete right alongside national brands by actually connecting with an audience.
Our initial thought was, why hasn't this been done before? Well, because now is the time for high-speed internet and touchscreen technology. Now is the time for something like this to be possible.
So we decided right there on that day that this isn't some good idea to throw away. This is something that we were going to pursue at all costs and do whatever it takes to bring to life. And here we are 4 years later with all the details figured out, and we need your help to make it a reality. Now's the time to make this happen.